All right, ready to dive in. Today we're going to be unpacking the INSEAD MIM program. We've got this really in-depth article here.
Yeah, INSEAD's got a pretty amazing reputation, consistently ranked as one of the top business schools globally. And their MIM program specifically, it's designed for those early career professionals, those who are really driven and ready to accelerate their careers.
So it's kind of like that fast track to success. And
Yeah.
speaking of fast track, this article, it's titled INSEAD MIM, Placements, Salary, GMAT, Essays Fee, and Deadlines to Apply. Gives you the full picture. One of the first things that jumped out at me, it mentions the program's 14 to 16 months long. That feels pretty quick compared to some other master's programs I've seen. Is that pretty standard for a MIM?
Yeah, you're right. That is a pretty tight time frame, but it's very common for MIM programs. They're designed for, like I said, those rising stars who are, ready to level up quickly and get back into the workforce.
Okay, so no time to waste. Now, where things get really interesting is the structure of the program. This isn't your typical, sit in a lecture hall kind of experience. We're talking about a global adventure here.
And that's one of the things that makes this program so unique. It's not just about learning those business concepts, but really immersing yourself in different cultures, experiencing that global business landscape firsthand.
Sounds incredible. So the article, it breaks it down into these periods. You start with an online foundation period, which I'm guessing is kind of like dipping your toes in the INSEAD world. But what exactly is a period? Is it like a semester?
Think of it more like a focused module, each one kind of building on the last. It's designed to give you a really comprehensive understanding of all those key business disciplines, but also allows you to tailor that learning experience, to your specific interests and goals.
Okay, so you get that foundational knowledge, and then it's off to Fontainebleau, France, for periods 1 through 3. Bonjour. I can already taste the croissants. But Fontainebleau, it's more than just a charming location. What makes it so special for INSEAD?
Oh, absolutely. Fontainebleau, it's steeped in history and academic prestige. INSEAD's campus there, it's like stepping back in time, but with a modern twist, right?
Yeah.
You're learning about global business strategies in a place that's witnessed centuries of, economic and cultural evolution. It's pretty inspiring.
Wow. I can already picture myself strolling through those historic grounds, brainstorming ideas. But hold on, the adventure doesn't stop there, does it? Periods 4 and 5 take you to Singapore, with potential field trips to China, Abu Dhabi, or even Silicon Valley. We're talking about a truly global education here.
Yeah, it's like a crash course in cross-cultural understanding and global business practices, and it's all packed into this really intensive program. Imagine networking with entrepreneurs in Abu Dhabi one week, then exploring the tech hubs of Silicon Valley the next, and then, experiencing the dynamism of those Asian markets all in a matter of months.
Wow, that's incredible. To experience all those different business ecosystems, the cultures, the perspectives. What a crash course in global business.
Yeah, it's not just a crash course, though. It's a strategic advantage. You're not just, reading about these markets in a textbook. You're actually there experiencing them, building a network that literally spans continents and gaining insights that you just wouldn't find anywhere else. This is where that whole business school for the world thing that INSEAD is known for really comes to life.
Yeah, I bet that experience on your resume when you're back in the job market makes a huge difference. And speaking of which, I know INSEAD doesn't just throw you into the deep end there. The article mentions this thing called the Career Development Center. What is that?
Yeah, it's not just a career center. It's a whole team dedicated to helping students reach their career goals. We're talking more than 40 career professionals providing personalized guidance, workshops, networking events, you name it. They've got connections with all the top recruiters around the world. Which
explains the 97% job offer rate within 3 months of graduation. And the article lists companies like BCG, McKinsey, JP Morgan. I mean, that's a pretty amazing lineup.
Exactly. And it's not just about landing a high-paying job. It's about finding the right fit. You know what I mean? The Career Development Center, they help you figure out your strengths, really refine your career goals, and then connect you with the companies that actually align with your vision. They even do mock interviews and help you negotiate those job offers.
Wow, that's really incredible. So they really guide you through every single step of the process. Okay, so we've got this amazing program, amazing support. But let's be real. Getting into INSEAD? It's not easy. The article breaks down the application process into 6 stages, and those essays, intense. What advice would you give to our listeners who are probably thinking, how do I even begin to tackle these essays?
I know it can feel daunting, for sure. But INSEAD isn't just looking for students with perfect GPAs and GMAT scores. They want to know, What makes you tick? What drives you? What unique perspectives you bring to the table?
So it's about more than just checking those boxes. They want to see your personality.
Exactly. Authenticity is key here. Don't try to be someone you're not or tell them what you think they want to hear. Share your story, your experiences, your aspirations. Show them your leadership qualities, that global mindset, those things that make you stand out.
Okay, so be yourself, showcase your strengths, and really make it personal.
Yeah.
Got it. Now let's talk about, well, the elephant in the room, the tuition fees. The article mentions 52,500 euros. And that doesn't even include living expenses. And in places like Fontainebleau and Singapore, it's definitely a serious investment. What advice do you have for someone who's weighing those costs and benefits?
Yeah, it's a big decision. You really have to think about the return on that kind of investment.
Exactly. And with the INSEAD MIM, that return, well, it's not just about your starting salary, although I have to say 66,100 euros on average. That's not too bad. But it's really about the skills you develop, the network you build, the doors that open just because you're an INSEAD grad.
It's that business school for the world effect.
Exactly. It's huge. You'll be ready to tackle anything. Complex business challenges, working across cultures, and leading with that global perspective, that's something you can't really put a price tag on. Like you were saying earlier, it's a huge advantage in today's world. Okay, so we've covered a lot in this deep dive. It's intense, it's global, and yeah, it's a big investment. But it also comes with those incredible career opportunities. So for our listeners out there who are thinking about taking the plunge, what would you say is the most important thing for them to consider?
That's a good question. I'd say, look beyond those impressive stats and the big names. Ask yourself, does INSEAD's vision, that whole building a diverse, globally minded community of leaders, does that resonate with you? What unique perspectives and experiences would you bring to that? Because at the end of the day, it's more than just getting a degree, right? It's about becoming part of something bigger.
That's a great point to end on. It's about finding the right fit for you and your ambitions and your values. So as you're weighing this decision, think about what you would bring to that environment. What's your story? And on that note, this wraps up our deep dive into the INSEAD MIM program. We hope this gave you a clearer picture of what to expect and maybe even inspired you to take that next step. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those ambitions soaring high.